Hello, my friends. Today we are going to set up a SSL for our monitoring applications. So if you set up the SSL for your website, so originally it was like your connection to this site is not secure. When you enter some sensitive information that is not encrypted, so someone can actually hack that information very easily. But if we set up the SSL, it will become the HTTPS from the HTTP. So if I click this one, it will show your connection is secure. So all of the information I send to server or from server to client, it becomes encrypted. So it's way secure. So that's why we try to set up the SSL. So it is really recommended. So if we see what is SSL, first, SSL stands for the Secure Socket Layer. SSL Certificate encrypts the data that users provide or receive on your website. So if you see these diagrams, so clients are sending the credit cards information into the server, but originally without the SSL setup, this credit card's information is just the plain text data. So if the hacker tries to hack this information, it can be easily hacked. But if we set up the SSL, this plain text data becomes the encrypted data. So even the hacker tries to hack the information, but it is already encrypted, so it becomes harder to be hacked. So that's why we need to set up the SSL. So now we want to know how this SSL works. So there are our website and web browser. So this one is our website and this one is web browser. So first, the user tries to click our website. In here, user clicks something in here, and the web browser connects to our website's HTTPS address. And this web browser will ask our website to identify itself using the SSL certificate. So if we already set up the SSL, so we get the SSL certificate that consists of public key and then private key. So by using these certificates, we need to identify ourselves. So in response to this web browser's request, so our website will send the web browser what's known as its public key. So we will send the public key to web browser, and then web browser try to validate the public key using a list of trusted certificate authorities or SSL certificate issuer. So they issued our SSL certificate, so they can validate this public key is still valid or unexpired. So once the web browser has verified our website's SSL certificate, it also creates an encrypted session key and send it back to our website. So we have public key and private key as well. So this time we will use this private key to decrypt the encrypted session key that made by this web browser. After decrypt the session key, so we will send the verification message back to our web browser. So after that, everything is finished for the verification. So now our website and then this web browser can interact using encrypted session key. So now whenever we communicate something between our website and web browser, we will use this encrypted session key. Yeah, this encrypted session key. So whenever they are communicating. So now we know how this SSL works and why we need to use the SSL for our website. So now it's time to look at the step of setting up SSL. So, but before starting up set up our SSL, now first I want to assume something that you already have. The first one is your domain. It's like I have my domain, even though I don't use that. but my domain is johnahn7.com. You can also have your domain. You can make it in AWS, or you can make it in the GoDaddy or those kind of website. And I also need to assume you already have your Merstack application on cloud, but it is much complicated than having your domain, because you need to set up a lot of things. But if you don't have it, I already made a tutorial first making your Merstack application on cloud. So this one. So if you come to my channel, you can watch this video. So we are going to start from here. So first thing we need to do is we need to get the certificate. So if you see here, our website has SSL certificate, public key, and the private key. So first we need to get the certificate. To get the certificate, first we need to download the certbot. This certbot is an easy to use automatic client that fetches and deploys SSL certificates for your website. So that's why we need to download this certbot. So to download it, I'm going to first access to my server, my cloud server, sudo SSH. So SSH, johnahn, and my domains 7.com, and then I need to enter my password for this server. So now I'm inside my server. In here, I need to download this certbot. I actually want to download this certbot in the certain place, in certain directory, so which is etc. So inside the etc folder, there are a lot of files. So inside in the etc directories, I'm going to download this certbot. So to download it, first I need to use this wget command. So what this URL does, so if we manually just enter this URL in here, yeah, we can download it like this. But we want to download the certbot inside our cloud server in here, inside this etc directory. So that's why we need to use wget and like this. So we are trying to download this certbot in here. We got the permission denied. We need to use the sudo permissions because now this johnahnn's account doesn't have an administrator root permission. So if you want to download something in the etc and try to change some files configuration, you mostly use the sudo to get the root permission. Sudo, I'm going to do this again, wget, and then like this. So now we were successfully downloaded this one, and then we also need to enable the permission for certbot auto by typing this one, chmod, yeah, like this. Copy and paste it. Yeah, even for this one, we need to do sudo like this. Successfully, this permission has changed. After that, we already download this certbot, and then we need to install this certbot by typing this one, sudo, like this. So if we see our file system in here right now, we can see this certbot. We just download it. Like, where is this one? Certbot auto. So we need to install the certbot auto by using this command line, sudo certbot auto cert only. So I type sudo auto cert only. So we are downloading. So in here they are asking us how would you like to authenticate with the ACMECA. So we will just click the first one. Please enter in your domain's name. Okay. So now it's time to enter our domain name. For me, johnahn7.com. What would you like to do? Keep the existing certificate for now, because I already made a certificate offered the johnahn7.com. Okay, I will click the second one, renew and replace the cert. So renewing the existing certificate. So now I got this important note, the congratulations, your certificate and chains have been saved at, like in here. So now I got this private key and pre-chain perm. I said before that after resetting up the SSL, we will get the public key and the private key. That's what we got in here. So now that we have a certificate, the private key and then public key, so I'm just gonna let you see. We go to this directory where all the certificates are stored right now. So cd etc and let's encrypt and live and johnahn 7. The reasons why we need to go in here is if we see this important note that comes from the cert board. So they say all of our certificates and chains have been saved at etc let's encrypt live and johnahn 7. So that's why we need to go here. So if we come in here and then type ls, so you can see cert.pam and chain pam and pre-chain pam and private pam. We can just select this private key pam and then pre-chain pam, and we will split this one into cert pam and the chain pam. So by using this one, we are going to make the configuration for our source code. So first thing what we need to do from now on is we will download the source code file. So you can see this website, we will use this website. Now this one just use HTTP, but we need to change this one into HTTPS. So first we need to download this website source code file. If you come in here, the my GitHub page, you can download it, this one, just download it, and then we will just turn on this file in your favorite editor. For me, that is the Visual Studio Code. And then we also need to change Nginx configuration for SSL. So if we go back to our terminal in here, to change the Nginx configurations, we need to go to first cd etc and then Nginx and conf. If you come in here, there is one file that take care of the Nginx configuration. So if we go inside the default in here, so we are using HTTP protocol. So we will listen on 80 port. So we need to change this part into the one that's for HTTPS protocol. So that is what we need to do right now. To change this configuration, we actually need to have a root permission, but we just came inside this file without root permission. So first we need to go outside like this, and then we need to use the sudo and then v and default.conf. So we can actually change this code right now. So first, what we need to do is we change this port into 4.3 and SSL, and we can just delete this part. And you can delete this part too. We don't use that. And server name, so you can write your domain name in here. For me, that would be johnahn7.com, and this one will be the same. Yeah, this one will be also the same, but there are the parts we actually need to add. So in here we need to indicate where our certificate keys are stored. We need to indicate that in here. SSL and certificate key. So we stored them in here. etc let's script live johnahn 7.com. So etc let's encrypt and live and johnahn 7.com and private key.pem and SSL Certificate etc and let's encrypt and live and johnahn 7.com and full chain.pem. And then we will give some options for SSL certificate, but this is quite long, so I'm going to just copy this part, copy all of the option part because it's so complicated. So I'm going to give this script in the description part, so you can just copy and paste this one for this configuration. So like this. And then now we just need to save this one. So to save it, WQ to save, and then go out of this page, you need to type WQ and this one like this, and then we need to restart the Nginx to reflect all the changes we just made. So to do that, sudo systemctl and restart Nginx. So if you have some alert in here, you may have some typo issue when you do some configuration for Nginx. So you can just correct some typo issue by coming in here again. So now we finish up to here, and then we need to go to our source code to change some part. So first, what we need to do is from the front end part. So when we request to the backend, we usually use this 5000 port for the Node.js. But if we use the HTTPS, that port has to be 8443. So we need to change that port part from the front end. And then we also need to make the HTTPS server inside the Node.js part. So to make that HTTPS server, we need to put some credential options. So to make the credentials, we will use the certification keys we just got from the cert board in here. So we need to write them like this. So first we need to go to our source code. Yeah, we came in here. But first, if you want to use the MongoDB in here, what you need to do is the dev.js. You need to make dev.js, and then you need to put the MongoDB's username and password information in here, like a Mongo URI, like module and export and Mongo URI, and then you need to put the information for the MongoDB. If not, so you couldn't connect to the MongoDB, because if you come in here, so you need to put the Mongo URI information in here. So that's why you need to put the MongoDB information in here. So if you want to get this information, you can first go to MongoDB Atlas website, and then you make the cluster. And inside the cluster, you can also make the username and then password. So, and then you can just paste it in here. So if you like watch this video, you can know how to make that information for this one. So I'm going to just skip it this time. So now first we need to change some code for the front end part. So if you come in here inside the client, this is the parts where we put the React.js code for the front end. So also inside the components further, and then come inside the config.js. Originally it is like this, but now it has to be changed for the HTTPS. So it'll be like the, and then I'm going to put my domain name johnahn7.com, and then this port has to be changed for HTTPS, that is the 8443. And so I finished for the front end parts, and then for the backend parts, I need to go to the index.js. So in here, I need to make the HTTPS server. I will make it in here. Okay. Const HTTPS require HTTPS, and then const fs and require fs and certificates const private key fs and read the file sync. So we have the file in here, cd etc let's encrypt and live and johnahn7.com. So we have all the PAM files in here. So we need to read this file in here. That's what we are doing right now. So we need to put this one like this, and private key PAM, private key PAM UTF-8, and const certificate and fs and read the file sync again. And this one is for this cert PAM. So we need to copy this file again and cert PAM. And this one's encoding is UTF-8 as well. And then lastly, we also need to use this. So the reason why we need to put 3.1 is, as I said before, like this full chain PAM was split into cert PAM and then chain PAM. So that's why we will use these three PAM files in here. So read file sync and PN, paste it, and the name was chain PAM, including is UTF-8. So we make one object variable to put all of them. So credentials and make the object, and key, we put this private key in here, and cert, this put this certificate, and then CA for this CA, and we make the HTTPS server in here. So create server, and we put this credential in here, and then put the express instance in here. So we are done making the HTTPS server, and when we run this server, we need to use this HTTP server we just made with this certificate, and then we will listen. The port will be 8443. So because the so that's why we use the 8443 port in here instead of 5000. That was for the normal Node.js server. So console log HTTPS server running at 8443. That was all we need to do. So we come back to our diagram. So we did up to here. Now maybe the last thing we need to do is the change security group setting. So in AWS, originally it was we were using HTTPS and HTTP, so we need to just use the port 80, and then for the Node.js port 5000. But now both of them were changed, so we need to use the 443 instead of 80, and then 48443 instead of 5000. So we need to open these two ports in the security group. So we come in here. This is our instance. So if you go to security group in here, click it, and click this one. So now we are opening the port 80 and then 22 and 5000 for Node.js and this one for the MongoDB. But we need to add two more port. These two more port right now in here. To do that, we can click the edit inbound rules and add rules for the HTTPS. So default port is the 443. So I'm going to just choose anywhere. So and I need to add A443. This one is also anywhere. And then I click the save rules. So now we did everything right now, and then now we need to deploy our application. So I'm going to turn on my FileZilla in here, so you can see this file structure, johnahn user back and user front. So I'm going to see in here, cd home johnahn, and you can see there are two folders in here, johnahn user back and johnahn user front. This is for the server part and this is for the front end part. First, we need to deploy the front end source code in here. To do that, we need to build our React.js application. So go to client and then npm run build to build our First, we need to download the dependencies that belong to React.js, like these things. So npm install. So now we downloaded all the dependencies so we can build our React application. Npm run build. So we finished building our React application. So we need to put all of the build files and folders inside the deploy folder. Okay, like this, and inside the client, inside the build, we put all of the files in here. Yeah, we overwrite all the files that was in here originally, and then we also need to these server files inside in here. Yeah, so we can just we can come inside this directory and we just drag the server folder in here. So now we put all the files that has changed in here. So now we come to our terminal. First, what we need to do is we also need to download all the dependencies that belong to the server, because we already downloaded all the dependencies that belong to the React.js. After that, we build the React.js. So that's why all the dependencies that belong to the React.js already included in here. But for the Node.js, that is not. We just put only server code in here. So we need to manually download the dependencies in here. So first we need to go inside this directory. So if we come in here, we have this package.json. So that's why we can do npm install to download all the dependencies. So now we downloaded all the dependencies. So first we can go to our website. But you need to remember we didn't turn on our server yet. Later I will turn it on. So now I try to go to johnahn7.com here. So you can come in here. So you see, so now it has changed. So connection is secure. And then if we see like this one is HTTPS instead of HTTP. I try to log in, but actually we got failed. Yeah, the reason is we didn't run our backend server. So now I'm going to run my backend server, but I'm going to make some error again. npm run start, but we got the permission deny. The reason is that we need to read these files in here, but we are using just the johnahn account instead of the root account. So to read this PAN file, we need to have a root permissions. So when we turn on our server, we need to use the sudo and then npm run start. So now we turn on our server. Well, so we come back to our website in here. Sorry for that. This is my mistake because you can see the page at HTTPS was loaded over HTTPS, but requested an insecure XML HTTP request endpoint HTTP instead of HTTPS. My mistake was when I changed the client part, I need to write HTTPS, but I wrote just HTTP, so that's why we got this error. So this means I need to build the React part again. Sorry for that. I'm going to just do it really fast. I'm really sorry for that. npm run build. So build it again, and then I put all of the build file inside deploy further and put it in here. And I go to our website again and then refresh it. Yeah, we are not getting any error right now. And then I'm going to log in. So now we are logged in fine. So that means our server is running really well, and all of our network works really well by using HTTPS protocol. So thank you for watching all of the videos, and it was really long video, I guess. And I was skipping a lot of parts because I tried to focus on the SSL configuration than other things. So maybe if you didn't watch my different videos, maybe some parts you couldn't understand easily. So sorry about that. But if you just leave some comment for the parts you couldn't understand, I try to answer them as much as I can. So thank you again, and see you in my next video. Thank you.